Let's see, we're connecting. All right, we connected up and quick. Gary, welcome back. And it's an honor to have you back on, particularly because now it's the first time everything is working, everything's up and running. We got the fiber working. Apparently, it was a Mac problem kicking us off the network because we were connected to the wrong router. The guys hadn't delivered the router yet, AfriHost. 10 days later, no router. So went and bought a brand new router yesterday, and 300 megahertz, 3000 megahertz router, and we're up
Oh,
and running
wow.
now with our gig. We got giganet internet at the studio, and it's up and working, and we're good. So welcome back. Thank you for your
Thank you.
patience.
Thank you for having me. I
No,
appreciate it.
and it's an absolute pleasure and an honor. It's always great to chat with you. Okay, before we kick it off and talk about the strict arm curl and freestanding arm curl world champs, let's chat a
Yeah,
little bit about you, so our audience can get an understanding as to who Gary is and a little bit of your background, please.
sure. So I think I can be best described as a competitive strength athlete
Hmm.
competing in over four strength sporting disciplines over the past 20 years. I actually started my career in bodybuilding in the early 2000s under IFBB.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
from there, I progressed to powerlifting under SAPF, as well as International Powerlifting Federation. From there, I started the strict arm curl and freestanding curl under South African Strict Arm Curl Federation. And then lastly, the fourth discipline was arm wrestling under the SAF and the ASA banner itself. So in 2015, I started the strict arm curl, and I brought the concept in from Europe
Hmm.
and from the United States.
What was your thoughts on that in terms of bringing strict arm curl into South Africa? What were the benefits that you saw within the sport that you felt the South African market would benefit from?
Well, firstly, no one else was really
Mm.
running competitions with the strict arm curl. And I thought it would be a great opportunity to bring a different sporting discipline into South Africa and try and get the youth
Okay.
involved and grow the sport.
That's
Um,
exactly why, sorry to interrupt. That's why I wanted
yeah.
to ask, because we did get to chat about that yesterday. It's such an amazing sport for young people to get involved in. It's something that's very simple. Parents don't have to stress about it. We hear a lot in powerlifting. Parents are worrying about stunting your growth, your back, these type of things. It looks to be a very safe and well managed and run sport.
Yeah, so if I could just give
Mm.
the audience a bit of a background of what strict arm curl. So strict arm curl is a strength sport focusing on EZ curling, the heaviest weight possible, with the strictest form. There are rules and regulations like most other sports. One particular one is on the platform that we compete at, your shoulder blades and your buttocks must remain firmly against the backboard
Hmm.
throughout the lift. There are three referees. There's a certain dress code that goes with strict arm curl. And yeah, what normally happens is you get your three attempts with your highest total going towards your final total.
Right.
All the like powerlifting, the scores they
Mm-mm.
all added up, and that's the way you get the winner on
So
the strict arm curl event.
I'm going to move you and I over to the side of the image behind us, which is of the platform. This is
Sure.
from Nationals, and we're going to move just over to here. So Instagram won't be able to see us, but they'll see the platform basically. And then
Right.
if we're looking at the image here, what can you tell us about? Let me bring that
Right.
up. So there's the base. People can see that.
That's perfect.
Mm.
So, as you can see, there's a platform with a backboard that has two red uprights where the bar gets rested on. So the athlete performs a strict arm curl utilizing his back and his buttocks on the backboard whilst his feet are 12 inches away from the bottom of the backboard. The legs the legs need to be locked out in order to get the command, which would be curl, down, and rack. Once the rack command is given, the bar is replaced in the uprights, and the athlete then goes to the admin table and he puts in his second attempt.
Okay.
With the freestanding curl, it's slightly different. So with freestanding curl, it's more a cheat curl. So the athlete doesn't have to compete against the backboard. They actually stand a bit further forward. And being a very explosive and dynamic exercise, you are allowed to use momentum in your hips and your back and your legs to get the most weight upwards. There are rules. One of the rules being you have to wait for the commands, the curl, the down, and the rack. But the two different sporting disciplines within strict arm curl, especially the freestanding, has become
Yes.
very popular.
Phenomenal. I think like there was a lot of cheering, and let us bring us back in here. There was a lot of cheering and a lot of noise for both the strict, but I
Yeah,
think when it got to freestanding, there was a lot of fire. Excuse me, coming from the audience, which was absolutely great.
yeah. Nick, I also wanted to
Mm.
mention that the sport is open to both male and female, starting from youth, from teens, all the way up to a Master 9, which is
Right.
80 years plus.
Wow.
So we have a wide range of ages that can participate. So strict arm curl, like other sports, is based on your age and the weight category that you are on the day of the weigh-in itself. The sport's also open to disabled athletes. So we encourage athletes that are disabled to come and be part of the sport. If you're wondering how a disabled athlete in a wheelchair might be able to perform a curl, basically the spotters and loaders pass the loaded bar onto the lap of the athlete, and
Okay.
they're given the commands, just like the strict arm curl, and they are judged accordingly.
Absolutely
So
phenomenal.
yeah, so obviously, in the rules, regulations, your dress code, and all of that go with the sport itself.
So with the regulations, the rules, everything that's sort of happening within the sport, how have you found the growth? How sort of how many affiliated members? What's the youngest member and what's the oldest member?
Okay, so we have just over 1,500 members nationally.
Right?
Our youngest athlete is 10 years old,
Oh
and our
wow.
oldest athlete is around 83 years of age.
Wow.
So yeah, we cater for wide spectrum of ages.
Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. How many do you have a number on how many affiliated athletes there are?
So the actual number of affiliated athletes at the moment would be around 100. It
Sure.
tends to change all the time.
Yes.
People come, they compete 1 year, then they go out and they come back again. But over both male and female, I would say right now there's in excess of 100 affiliated members.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. We have a question from Chris Finch. What's your message, Gary, to the world with regards to strict arm curl?
Well, my message to the world is strict arm curl is a sport that is open to anyone, whether you are a new athlete or you're an
Mm.
experienced athlete. It caters for everyone. It caters for young kids
Mm-hmm.
even, all the way up to master lifters. So the sport, we encourage people to join South African Strict Arm Curl Federation, or around the world there are other federations that also run strict arm curl and freestanding curl events. And I think it's a great sport. It's good for your mind, it's good for
Mm-hmm.
your health.
Great
We
community.
Great community. What I find as well,
Mm-mm.
especially in the strength sporting disciplines, that the community, we all try and support each other. Even if you're competing against someone in your own division, everyone tries to be helpful, and we're there for each other. We
Yes,
go through this together.
a hundred
So
percent.
yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. You've spent a lot of time, I mean, nearly 3 decades involved in strength sports, competing at international level, world championship, breaking records, lots and lots of gold medals. What is the value of strength sport, whatever it is, be it strict arm curl, be it powerlifting, be it strongman? What is the value of people doing strength sport? What does it add to their lives?
Well, I think number one, it's gonna create personal growth.
Hmm.
It's going to challenge you to really push yourself, especially if you're competing, because you're competing against athletes who are very competitive. So, you know, it should like sort of encourage athletes to train harder, become better people.
Hmm.
I think it also creates uh, creates competitiveness between yourself and other
Hmm.
athletes.
100%. Absolutely. And that's a great lesson for life at any stage of life, really, where you have a chance to compete and test yourself against others.
Yeah, I must say I've been very fortunate over the past 20 years. I think I currently hold over 40 national titles over the four different sporting codes. I think my most memorable win would be the Commonwealth Bench Press Championships in 2009, and then winning the World Strict Arm Curl under the 100% Raw
Hmm.
Federation in the US, and then winning multiple Arnold Classic Africa individual strict arm curl and team events.
Sure.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate enough to travel the world a little bit. I competed for South Africa in the World Bench Press Champs
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
Miami 2006 and in Denmark in 2012. So with the hard work has also brought rewards.
Hmm.
I think, if one puts the time and the effort in, it should eventually pay off. If the medals come, they come. If they don't, you learn from your mistakes. You see where you can improve,
Yes.
changing your exercises and so forth. So yeah, just generally out there, I think you asked me earlier, what
Hmm.
motivates me is bettering myself as a
Hmm.
person, trying to improve my own um, personal personal numbers that I perform in the different sporting disciplines. Yeah, so that's really
Phenomenal.
it.
And I love it because you keep going and finding new sports, developing them, competing in them. We can say dominating, which is really, really cool. Now, speaking
Yeah,
of dominating, something very exciting coming to South Africa in November. Well, there's two
yeah,
very exciting things, but Strict Arm Curl gets to go first. So we can
right,
chat about that. Tell us about
sure.
what's happening in Durban in November.
Okay, before I get on to
Mm.
Durban, we have a competition on the
Yes.
27th of this month. This is the last competition where you can sort of practice for the world champs, get
Mm.
the feel of the platform, of the weights. So that competition is taking place at the Old Benonians Sport Club in the actual hall itself.
Hmm.
The
Great
Unfortunately,
location. Yep.
it is a
Mm.
great
Mm.
location. All the spots are unfortunately taken for entries itself, but it's a free event.
Mm.
The general public and other athletes are welcome to come and support your favorite athlete or just come and watch. I think you're aware of the venue itself.
Hmm.
They offer food and drinks and snacks. So that's taking place on the 27th of September. The name of the competition is Dogzilla.
Love it.
And we just to mention as well, a shout out to Warren Brits
Mm.
and Rion, who've taken over the running of the WBC competitions in Johannesburg.
Okay,
So all the
fantastic.
best to them. Yeah. And then from there, leading up to the world champs, the World Champs is taking place on Monday, the 3rd of November
Hmm.
this year, 2025. It's been held at the ONOMO Hotel, which is very close to the actual beach
Hmm.
and the city
Right on the
itself
beach. Yep.
by the Marine Parade. It is a very well-known
Mm.
venue. We have hosted our nationals in the Strict on Pearl and the WPC before. The venue itself is really, really nice. You know, we managed to get a great sponsor on board called Oil Shop, who sponsored beautiful wall banners, which we are thankful for. And yeah, we look forward to, competing on the world stage. The South African team at the moment is around 37 athletes over both
Hmm.
male and female. And yeah, we all look forward to competing together for South Africa. I don't know if you can see, but I'm actually wearing, I'll just tilt my,
Hmm. Yeah,
I'm wearing
fantastic.
our tracksuit, just to create a bit of unity amongst the athletes itself. Also, just like to mention
Mm.
that the WPC World Champs, which is the World Powerlifting Congress World Champs, is taking place in the same venue. That is from the 4th till the 8th. And I have to give a shout out to my partner in Strict Arm Curl and the president of WP South Africa, Zane Arson, and his wife Shanice,
Mm.
for hosting the event. It's a big thing putting on a world championships. So we thank them for that. And then Nick, I have to mention, it's very important that I mention that
Thank you. Yeah.
Emet Media have come on board with us market to market and advertise with the media the entire event. We thank you for that.
Our absolute
And
pleasure. Thank you.
I must just tell the audience and the
Mm.
viewers that Emet Media have come up with excellent rates. Nick has put together a
Hmm.
package which is very affordable for the athletes. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, Nick,
Hmm.
but what it compromises is the filming of the warm-ups, um, the actual lifting itself, the prize giving,
Hmm.
uh, and then a podcast at some point,
Yes.
as well as taking photos and so on. So you offering a personal package, which I suggest that your athletes take up.
And if Gary suggests, you have to do it, guys. Absolutely. For us, that's really something that's important to be able to give back. We'll be not only live streaming the lifting, but we'll be recording the lifting in higher res, and then there'll be packages that the guys can buy in terms of their lifts and so on, and the medal ceremonies, and then also for there'll be photo packages as well that the athletes can buy.
Fantastic.
We've really worked hard to come in at a low rate. We know, particularly for the South African athletes, it's always a challenge. Usually the rates are around about £220 or euros. When athletes compete internationally, we've come in way below that, just to make it affordable, because we'd rather have more athletes take the packages than not. There's an early bird special and discount as well for the guys if they want to buy their packages
Yeah.
now. But
Right.
even if it's on the day, they can buy their packages.
Great. I wanted to
Mm.
mention as well
Yep.
that for the athletes
Hmm.
or the general public who haven't arranged their accommodation yet at the Nome Hotel, the
Better get
last
on
time
it.
they better get on it. The rooms are getting
Mm-mm.
booked out fast. And also, there is a special booking code for
Hmm.
the room rates, especially for the powerlifters. So if you go onto the actual website, you'll be able to apply the coupon code, and you'll get the best rates possible for your room and
Oh,
so forth.
fantastic, fantastic. For you hosting now, organizing this international champs in South Africa, there's also a great opportunity because it's so expensive for South African athletes to travel internationally just because our currency doesn't really have that value. You know, people coming to South Africa from overseas. And I always think that South Africa is such a great venue to host international competitions because it's very affordable to come here. It's very affordable for athletes to be here. The feedback that I've gotten from the international comps that I've been to, that we've live
Yeah.
streamed, is people are amazed by how cheap the steaks are, how cheap our food is, how
Yeah.
cheap our alcohol is, and how cost effective everything is.
I,
Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, I no, I agree with you. You know, for an international athlete coming from the US with the exchange rate at 17 and a half to
Yep.
1, they're getting a good bang for their buck. The
Absolutely.
unfortunate part for South Africans traveling overseas for international competitions is that there is no funding from the government itself.
Yeah.
You have to fund not only your own uniform itself, but your travel, your accommodation, your food. So it becomes expensive for athletes to travel, which is, quite unfortunate.
Very
And
much so.
I think
Mm.
you'll notice a lot of athletes are really trying to get sponsorship,
Mm.
which a lot of them are actually achieving, which I think it's fantastic to
Phenomenal.
assist them, yeah,
And
to these
and
competitions.
absolutely, and they all the South African athletes should be competing when the competitions are local because I think when we spoke yesterday, there's some great opportunities to set some records here. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so with it being a world champs, and the
Mm.
first time the actual strict jump curl and freestanding curl is taking place in South Africa, we are creating our own world champ standard records. And what I mean by that is if an athlete wins their division, we're talking about an athlete actually taking the gold medal.
Mm-hmm.
That that lift that you performed, let's just assume it's 70 kilograms and you've won, that will become the record under your age, your weight, and obviously your name. And
Phenomenal.
that will allow other federations in the world to actually compare themselves to us versus us comparing, ourselves to
Yes,
them.
yes. The,
So, yeah,
Oh, sorry. No, just it's
no,
such a
carry on,
great
Nick,
it's
carry on.
such a great opportunity, and I think that I hope I know people in the sport realize this, but for the public to realize that it's a lot of work, it's a big cost to put on a competition like this. And I think it's something very special that you're doing to afford South African athletes the opportunity to compete at this level, to set records at this level, and also then to become known internationally by other competitors. So it's really a wonderful thing that you've done, Gary. And for those of us in the South African strength community, we wanted to say a big thank you because it's far more cost effective to do it at home.
Yeah, look, Nick, I really
Mm,
appreciate the
mm,
kind
mm.
words, but I have to in turn
Yeah.
say to you that on behalf of our South African Street Tom Curl Federation, we thank you for not only what you do for our sport by,
Mm,
constantly interviewing our athletes, but actually speaking to all other athletes in other sporting disciplines, not only within South Africa, but
mm.
also internationally. And, that gets the word out for our sports. And you are really an integral part of growing our sport
Sure.
and growing the community, worldwide. And, we really thank you for that.
I'm very grateful. Thank you. That that's it's very kind of you to say. It's an absolute pleasure for me. And as you can see, I wore my K-Way Bush shirt today because
Yes.
off to Botswana tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. We'll be back around the
Yeah.
21st or 22nd, completely offline. So
Yeah.
there'll be no posting from us or share. But when we back, that's why it's so important to get this internet sorted out. When
Yeah.
we back, you very kindly lined up a whole bunch of athletes for us to chat to, and we're going to be
Yeah.
doing bulk podcasts and interviews, which we're
Brilliant.
really, really looking forward to. So
Yeah.
it's going to
Nick,
be
I'd want you
phenomenal.
to. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. I wanted to actually just mention out a few athletes
Please.
that I think are going to
Phenomenal.
perform exceptionally well at the World Champs. Not to
Yes.
say other athletes won't, but the standout out athletes for me would start off would be Lee Smith. Lee Smith is a disabled athlete. Lee.
Mm.
I met Lee in 2016 when he first competed at the Arnold Classic Africa. Fantastic guy. He currently holds the national record in the disabled class. He's going to be there. I think he's going to put on a great performance.
Awesome.
We have a couple ladies, Elrin Heck and Angelique Koch, to look out for, as well as Leona Ferrie. And then from the men's side of things, going forward would be Simon Augustine, JP van Wyk,
Hmm.
Johan Richards, Ruan Ferns, myself. No, I'm joking. Um,
Absolutely. Come on, Gary. Got to throw up some
yeah, so
fireworks there for you because you're
I, I
organizing and competing. It's a
yeah,
big
I
thing.
think
Yeah.
these athletes will really perform well,
Phenomenal.
um, as with the rest of the athletes. And lastly, I just wanted to mention
Mm.
also that, for the athletes wanting to get into the strict arm curl and don't know where to start,
Mm.
the first thing I would suggest you do is you join our Facebook page, which is South African Strict Arm Curl Federation, and also our Instagram page, which is South African Strict Arm Curl.
Hmm.
Once you join up there, you will affiliate with us. There's an affiliation that you pay, yearly.
Hmm.
And then there are various gyms in and around Joburg and Durban and Cape Town that actually offer strict arm curl training techniques and so on. And I'll give you an idea. We've got Barbell Bullies in the north, we've
Mm.
got Pitbull in the south, we've got Natural Way in Natal, we've got Be Unique Fitness in Polokwane. In Cape Town, we've got Team Elite. And then I offer free training at Virgin Active in Morningside.
Sure.
If anybody ever is in the area and they'd like, to come and join me, they're welcome to. I'd also like to put out there that I always enjoy giving back to the athletes, and I'm more than happy and willing to work out a strength training program for your strict arm curl and freestanding curl.
Sure. That's
So
very
it's
kind.
open. It's open to you
Awesome.
all.
Thank you, Gary. That's very, very kind. And I know that you've got a wealth of experience. And, guys, if you can reach out to Gary on those groups, join the federation. Even you just follow them on their socials. Very important. And it's a growing, wonderful community. Speaking of that, we've got some comments from Six Gun Slap.
Okay,
So can't
that's
wait.
Vernon.
Hello, Vernon. There, thank you. Can't wait for Worlds in KZN. Gary, you're a legend in strength sports, a true inspiration to a lot of us. Will be there to break some records myself. We're looking forward to that, Vernon. Absolutely. Where can we view the rates and packages? I'll put up another post for you. I'll put a document together and get it through to you that you
Yeah.
can share with the athletes.
Nick, I also
Yes,
just wanted to, that Vernon
yeah.
he comes from a slap fighting background. So it's actually interesting that so far we've actually converted three slap fighters, one being Bobby Krish, who's the
Yes.
um, the owner
Excellent.
of the Punisher.
Yeah.
I think it's a guy by the name of Pitt from, they call him Bulldog, and now Vernon. So we're very happy to have you guys on board. Um,
Absolutely.
Also, there a lot of the arm wrestlers.
Yeah, I was going to say we got some arm wrestlers.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so we've also converted a lot of
Mm.
arm wrestlers, and the strength goes hand in hand. With the arm wrestlers, they've got strong arms already. So going into this curling is like um, uh, a natural for them to go into the
Right.
sport. The guys, all the guys from Polokwane, they're all arm wrestlers. Robbie Ruiz, Kobus Young,
Mm-mm.
Donnie Faree, you've all come across. Please, we're looking for other sports disciplines who also want to come, take part in the sport. We look forward to having you there.
Absolutely. It's a great sport. It's a great community to join. Gary, thank you so much for what you've
Pleasure.
shared. Thank you again for taking the time. Just before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to touch on or mention about the competition or about the sport?
No, so, to end off, I'll just say, all the athletes have worked hard. They've had to qualify to get to the world champs. they put in the time, they put in the effort, and I think now's the time, for them to shine. We really super excited that we're having this World Championships. If you win, you're the world champion. You get a beautiful medal, which will be a nice surprise.
Have to do one of those as well.
It's really, really a fancy upmarket medal, and with the best lifters, being awarded trophies and participation certificates. The venue that we're competing at, you'll see the setup with the lights and
Yeah.
the banners, and it's really going to be great. We have TVs where you'll be Emet Media will be displaying the scores, not only in the competition itself, but also backstage and for the
Yes.
warm-ups and so on. Yeah, so yeah,
Absolutely.
we look forward to seeing you all in Durban on the 3rd of November.
So I think it's a great excuse to get down to Durban, to stay at the venue hotel. If you want to even if you're not competing, come down for a couple of days. Come and watch, support the athletes. You can pop down have breakfast, pop down to the beach for a walk and a swim, come back, watch some
Yes.
fantastic lifting. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. For those who can't make it, they can watch it online on Emet Media's YouTube channel, and it's going to be absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be epic.
Great.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
As a matter of fact, just to mention, our video is being wrapped up. We did a tour of the hotel with the fantastic management team. We were so welcomed there. It's going to be such a
Awesome.
vibe, true African team. So that's going to be out. We should have that later today. We'll get that up before we head off to Botswana, so people can see the venue, see the hotel. It's a really classy, lovely venue, and a great hotel, great staff. So it's going to be good. Again, thank
Awesome.
you. Thank you for your time.
Thank
We
you,
really appreciate it. And
Pleasure.
thank you to our viewers and those listening on the podcast, and for the comments as well. Looking forward to meeting Six Gun Slap in Durban. Vernon, looking forward to meeting you. All right, guys, we'll get the package
Thank
info
you.
out again. Gary, I'm going to just end the stream, and I'll chat to you quickly off air. So
Sure.
please be with me.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Take care.